Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, we got the breakdown summary of the last voice chat that Forex just did about 6 to 7 hours ago. And again, shout out to Wonder Woman for putting all this together. I did listen to it, and TLDR, it didn't go as smoothly as Forex would probably have liked. He ran into an issue with one of the devs and the front end being finished for the migration, and I think he actually fired that dev based on the what he was saying in the call. And then Ray chimed in as well to share some insight on how this has been the case behind the scenes. So first we'll jump into the notes and then kind of double back towards that. So in the notes, he mentioned that the Animal Farm updates, Animal Farm USD, BUSD, and USDT BUSD pools migration is in progress, upcoming in 1 hour if you're unable to migrate. So as of this video, you should be able to do it now. And just to show you what that looks like, if you're over here on the farm, it was these two pools. So I made, in previous videos, I thought it was all stable token farms, but it was not these two. So someone in the comments said they didn't have any issue getting in and out previously. That's because these two were not affected. I don't know why. Didn't look at PancakeSwap to figure out why they didn't include these, but they didn't. So it's only these two, and the migration is already up and running. And you can see that there's no APR on these because he's waiting due to the hiccup that he had to basically allow this to connect for everybody once they're all in. So before it was supposed to be done at 12 p.m. in like a 1 hour grace period, but since there was some issues, the APRs will kick in once I think he said 12 p.m. In this video, it would be like another, I don't know, 20 hours from now or something like that. But anyway, so that is done now, so there shouldn't be any issues. And if you were in the chat, then you already fixed your issue, so I'm not even gonna cover that. No other pools are affected. So next up, he talked about fiat on-ramp for AFP coming in the next few days. And he also talked about the fiat on-ramp in general. So we'll get to that. It's later on in these notes. What he wants to push out is the Dogs Roulette contract. So he said the contracts are done, but now they need a lot of UI work on the front end. So his dev is supposed to be looking into that over this weekend, and they'll have a follow-up to refresh themselves on the contracts and then see what else needs to be done so that they can get this put out. He wants to have like I guess a more gamified front end kind of feel, since it's gonna be its own thing. Next up, the single asset lending. So he said that they are basically moving forward with that, and the way it will be done, it's actually kind of a new development on the space. So it's going to be the contract itself will be looking for the best location to bridge the assets to and stake them. So that means that you get the best rates. So he said they're going to be using Binance's approved bridges. So if you come to Binance and you want a bridge, they want to use Binance.com. But if you can't use Binance.com, then they recommend Seller and AnySwap. And he said there's 3. So I'm guessing the third one would be Stargate, because that's a decentralized version. And so what will happen when you stake on the front end stable coins, and he mentioned in this that it was only like he kept saying BNB and BUSD. So I thought again it would be any of our single assets, but all I've heard him say is BNB and BUSD. So nothing for ETH and nothing for Bitcoin. But what would happen is there would be a new kind of pool or something here. You'd stake on this front end, and then on the back end it would be looking at the best place for that BUSD or BNB to go to get the best yield. And then whatever native token you earn on that chain will be immediately sold and then compounded back into your principal. And that's where this 80% he was talking about comes in. So approximately 80% will be auto compounded, and the other 20% will go to support the dog pound. And then I think a small dev fee for creating the actual contract. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel, as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. All right, next up, he did talk about Drip, so that's good to hear. Drip games for Drip are built. We're just working on new Drip UI to integrate fiat on-ramp and this on-ramp will launch with the new drip UI. So he did say there's some stuff already done for that, and kind of like simple games where you play and you get incentives to use the drip token, to buy the drip token, and incentives to buy it with fiat fresh integrated with the UI. So hopefully, he has not given any dates on this, but I was always forecasting by the end of first quarter. So hopefully by the end of the first quarter, we should hear something. I would like to see the drip UI pushed out, or at least some announcement on it, or at least some kind of AMA on drip within the next, by the end of the month. That would be nice, some AMA or some update on it. And then hopefully by the end of March, this actually come to fruition. So we will see. Next up on the fiat on-ramp, he said that they were in talks with 3 different companies, and they finally decided with Globiance, who gave them a better deal. Originally, it was like a 6-figure quote. They got a better deal on it, and they have a no KYC requirement for up to $2,000. So that means you could use a prepaid debit card or something like that. And after $2,000, I guess within a month, then you would have to KYC, and you don't have any limits above like 10,000. Like, you're not limited. So if you want to buy over $10,000, then you would have to KYC, but there's no limits after that, basically. So didn't say how soon this will be done, but it sounds like a lot of things have moved forward on this, and he's gotten it pushed forward. So the big thing to clear up is that, like I said, in this meeting, the VC, there was a hiccup with the migration. So they had the migration live in the test, not test environment, but for a few people to be able to basically test 0.01% of their farm tokens to migrate over. That was set on the front end as a limitation. And then Forex went live in the VC and said everything's all good. And then shortly thereafter, he was getting messages in the Telegram or in wherever, Discord, I think as well, saying something's not working. He was saying, no, it's working fine. And then come to find out, BP chimed in and he got some messages that his front end dev had left the requirement at the 0.01 test environment and not changed it to 100%. So Forex was visibly upset, and basically said that this is what he fired people before for, and there will be repercussions. And then he followed up later on in the conversation saying that, yeah, he will not be working with them, and that they already have people ready to take that spot. So I've mentioned this time and time again, that Forex is a visionary. Forex is also a developer that, you know, wrote his own contract, stuff like that. Now he's moving into leading teams. But as I mentioned, with his personality and from what he said, he has not had to work for other people and thereby not had to manage people. So he's learning this skill set in real time, and in an environment where the typical people coming to work in crypto are also coming from a similar background as Forex, meaning they probably didn't work in a traditional environment. They didn't have bosses. They're self-taught, you know, all these other things. So you have a very dynamic workforce that you have to manage remotely. And oftentimes you don't even get to see these people's faces. So there's a lot of moving pieces. And I believe he's doing his best to push these things across the finish line. But there's so many things that go on behind the scenes. I had the privilege working in the military, working for corporate businesses, you know, international kind of stuff. So you can see these things take place in real time. And then when you come to another country, you can see the different work mentality. So I know what it looks like firsthand to try to, as they say, herd cats. And I can only imagine that it's that much more volatile when you're talking about working with people's money and developers and people with egos and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, just got to give him the benefit of the doubt and believe that he's doing the best thing for the space. And yeah, I've shown you guys transparency on the transaction and stuff like that. So that's what I need to know that things are moving in the right direction. And it may not be when we want it, but he's doing the best he can, in my opinion, with the skill set he has available. And that's all that we can ask. So we'll see what happens in the future. So hope that provides value, gave you a good summary. I believe he'll be having another VC. Let's jump into Telegram real quick. There was an update. So let's just read that from his notes. He said, we have been testing the migration function all morning. migrating 0.001% of user funds. This way we could test it live on mainnet. I was told by my front-end dev that he did not update this before the migration, so some people had 0.01% of their funds migrated. This is completely a front-end thing. There are two issues this caused. There is a portion of users who migrated that 0.001. He keeps using different numbers. I don't really know, but not all their capital. We need to push an update so that the front end is accounting for what happened, what had already been migrated. That is currently causing some people's migration to fail. We build the site so the browser were to crash or migration process will stop midway through, it would start at the correct step when the user reopened it. If someone hard refreshed migration, this cleared that data, which is used to start them back up on the correct step. Both these issues are fixable, and we are doing it right now. I will have an update 1 hour from now, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So that was about 5 hours ago from this video. We will be starting the emissions on the new stable swap farms until tomorrow at noon. So that's what I was showing you on the Animal Farm site. So there's no migrations on those two pools. So to be fair to anyone who had issues, and set aside time to migrate today so they will have time to get in before emissions go live. This is also being addressed to administrative action from a team management perspective, and we'll be bringing in a new dev to handle website maintenance going forward, aka that guy got fired. Here's the next piece. Migration is ready. So this was 2 hours later, basically. Hard refresh, click the migration button and go through the process as directed. There's a small edge case of people who had their migration fail, who will need to manually migrate. In this case, the migrate button will not appear for you. In this case, an input box will allow you to manually deposit with no fee. We will be starting the emissions tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern instead of today to ensure people who were not able to successfully migrate have time to do before the emission starts. I will also get the VC to discuss all the things we are preparing. So I guess we're gonna do another VC and we'll get the rest of the updates. So long and short, migration is live. I did it already with fresh capital that I had sitting in my wallet, and create the pair just so I could see what would happen, what the APRs would look like. So as you can see on mine, there's a pool, people in the pool, but there is no actual APR being paid out. So if you see this video before tomorrow, you might want to get into the USDT BUSD pool because it's got half the liquidity, so it should have a higher APR. Just food for thought. All right, that is it for this video. Hope it provides some value. If it did, you know the drill. Smash the special, help brother out. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See you. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.